Hey guys, Jason here. So just wanted to show you a little bit of just what my 500 and my single core Raider, that's what it's called, the old school one on the back of my roof back here, are doing. Because you guys remember I had to pull those blades off the top, the Generation 5s because they hit the pole or the bracing, and they broke the tip off of one of them. And so anyway, this is some of the power coming in right now. My little 500 water and the old school Missouri Wind and Solar, the one I call Old Faithful, in the back of my house here. Always going non-stop. Yeah, I haven't got those turbines changed over yet. I want to get that dual core up there. But yeah, after I got those blades down, the weather got real crappy again last weekend. And so, and then all week long I've been working 10-hour shifts, so it takes me an hour to get to work and 2 hours to get home because of stupid traffic. So it's pitch black and weather like this, it's just not a good combination to be trying to work on the roof and change the turbines out. So I'm hoping this weekend will be better. But yep, this is just with 2 of my turbines, so, and my oldest turbines that I have. And I thought I had to get some more parts for this. I want to get some more parts for my system here and fix it up better, make it look nicer, and start actually wiring it in. Now that I know what I've done pretty much all of my testing that I need to do, and now I just got to finalize it and finish it up. Sorry, I'm a little bit shaky. It is cold out here. But anyway, over here, this is where the single core is hooked into, my single core Freedom. And so what I'll do is I'll take these two 12-gauge wires, because I have two 12-gauge extension cords running all the way up front there, and I'll split those apart, and so I can run my dual core up front there. And I'll separate these on these little connectors here. And I'll separate these wires and make it into dual core action again. Since there's no blades on it, it doesn't matter if I have it plugged in or not. I'll unplug it all. But anyway, I'll separate it, and then I'll run the dual core in here on this rectifier and this rectifier down here. This is where the little 500 is coming in right now. And I'll take that 500, unplug it from there, and I'll move it to this guy. Here's where the dual core is hooked up right now. My jumper wire. So here's where my dual core is hooked up right now. So I'll hook the little 500 up to this guy, and I'll run the 500 just down to the battery bank and charge the batteries. And that way the little 500, all it'll be doing is just charging batteries, and then the other 2 turbines will be running grid tie and charging batteries. I'm in my dump system right now, and that'll be upgraded, so pretty much be upgrading everything. But I don't know, I just thought I'd show you that even though that's a really old turbine up there, and it's slightly windy out, off and on, snowing like crazy up there on the pass, I guess. But yeah, even though it's a little turbine, old school one, it's still working good. So that was my very first turbine, the one back in my roof there. Whew. Cold. 400 watts, 450, 479. Woo! You see that? Good thing I got that on video. Oh, and also, one thing you want to remember is that these grid ties can only handle so much wattage input, or so much wattage too, but amperage. And so that's why I have them hooked to the battery bank and the grid ties at the same time, running through this battery isolator. It's made for charging two battery banks at the same time off of one alternator coming in. Right now I have two. This is my little 500 and my old school coming in, and the other one I just unplugged it. This is my old Freedom. That's up front. I don't even have blades on right now, but anyway, they're coming in here, and then they're being split equally going out the top to the grid ties up here. And these three right here are all wired in parallel, so it's like positive, 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 negative, negative, negative. So they're all working like one big grid tie. And the reason I do that is because they absorb more amps wiring them together like this. It seems like they absorb more amps and less likely to blow up a grid tie. See, just from my own experimenting around, that's what seems to be the only way I can keep them from blowing up. So, and then down here, when the amps get too high, it seems like the automatically goes down to the batteries and charges battery. And battery voltage right now is 12.4. It's cold. But right now this is a very inexpensive, other than the charge controller or the grid ties. They're like $150, $170 a piece. So I wouldn't go this route again. If I started over from new, I would go batteries instead, and then just only maybe get like one 1000 watter, like this is it, or maybe two of the 600 watters, and then run that on a separate charge controller, dump load controller at a little bit lower voltage, so that it'll charge up the batteries. Then that'll kick on, dump it into the grid ties, and that'll go into the house. And if the house power is out, the grid power is out, I will still have another setup just like this that is a little bit higher voltage than the grid tie one, and this will keep my batteries from overcharging. Anyway, just thought I'd show you this. It's been windy like this pretty much every night I've come home, and I don't get out here much because it's cold and I'm tired as hell, and I just want to go to bed, watch a movie, whatever, I know, drink a beer. But yep, that's my old school Missouri Wind and Solar, and the little 500, which is behind trees and stuff and doesn't get much good wind. So it's mostly my old school in the back of the house. But man, you know, it's like the old PMA style. Yeah, kind of like the Delco car alternator style. And you would think that after all these years I've been running it, maybe it would be making noise or something, or something bad would be going wrong with it. But no, 3 years running and more now, and still going strong. So just a good old reliable turbine. Alright guys, well I'll talk to you later. I'm cold and shaky. So I'll you guys have a good night, alright? Bye bye.